Credit scores have become the key to unlocking opportunities, whether it's renting an apartment, buying a car, or getting a loan approved. If you've ever found yourself scrolling through countless articles on how to improve your credit score fast, you're not alone. But let's face it, most of that advice sounds way too good to be true. That's why I decided to dig deeper and test 5 of the most popular credit score tips to find out which ones actually work. You've probably heard about paying off your balance early, becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card, or disputing errors on your credit report. These strategies might seem helpful at first, but how many of them really make a difference? In this video, I'll break down each trick I tested, sharing what worked and what didn't, and the surprising lessons I learned along the way. Some of these tips gave my score an instant boost, while others did nothing at all. And trust me, the final trick I'm sharing today made the biggest impact on my credit score, and it's a hidden gem most people overlook. If you've been searching for effective ways to improve your credit score fast, you'll want to pay close attention, because this isn't your typical advice. It's time to separate real strategies from the myths and take control of your credit journey. Trick 1. Paying down balances before the statement date. The first trick I tried was paying down my credit card balances before the statement date. You've probably heard this one before. It's all over personal finance blogs and YouTube videos. The idea is simple. Instead of waiting until your due date to pay your balance, you pay most of it off before the credit card company closes your billing cycle. Why? Because when they report your balance to the credit bureaus, it shows how much credit you're using at that point in time, not how much you paid off afterward. I tested this with 2 of my cards. On one hand, I paid my balance in full a few days before the statement closed, and on the other, I left a small balance to see if it would make a difference. The result? My credit score jumped by 22 points within just 1 month on the card I fully paid off. Even the card with a small balance showed an improvement, though not as much. So why does this trick work? It's all about your credit utilization ratio. That's the percentage of your available credit that you're actually using. The lower that percentage, the better it looks to the credit bureaus. Experts recommend keeping your utilization under 30%, but I found that aiming for 10% or lower had an even bigger impact. Now, this isn't a one-time fix. You need to stay consistent to keep your score improving. What I did was set up automatic payments to clear my balance before the statement date each month. It takes a bit of effort to track your statement dates, but trust me, it's worth it. This trick is particularly helpful if you're planning to apply for a loan or mortgage and want to boost your score quickly. One thing to note though, this won't work if you're maxing out your cards every month. You need to keep your spending in check and only charge what you can comfortably pay off. If you're not sure when your statement closes, check your credit card app or contact your issuer. Once you get into the habit of paying early, you'll see how much of a difference it can make. Trick 2. Becoming an authorized user. The second trick I tested was becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card account. This trick is often recommended in credit repair guides and financial forums, but I was skeptical at first. How can someone else's account help improve your score? Turns out, it can make a huge difference if done right. Here's how it works. When you become an authorized user, the account holder's payment history, credit age, and utilization rate get added to your credit report. So, if they've had the card for a long time and always pay on time, their positive behavior reflects on your score too. It's like borrowing their good credit without actually having to manage the card yourself. I asked a close friend with an excellent credit history to add me as an authorized user on his oldest credit card. Within 2 weeks, my average credit age increased, and my score saw a noticeable bump. The great part? I didn't even need to use the card. His on-time payments and low balance were enough to boost my report. But this trick isn't as easy as it sounds. Not everyone will be comfortable adding you as an authorized user. It requires trust because, technically, you'll have access to their credit line. Plus, not all credit card companies report authorized users to the credit bureaus. You need to make sure the account holder is with a company that does. Some of the big ones, like Chase and American Express, are known to report authorized users. Also, make sure the person you're asking has a strong payment history. If they've missed payments or have a high balance, it can actually hurt your score instead of helping it. So choose carefully. And one more thing, this trick is especially useful if you're just starting to build credit or if you've had a credit mishap in the past. It's like getting a boost without having to take on new debt. But remember, this is a long-term strategy. You need to keep it active for several months to see significant results. If you're thinking about trying this, start by reaching out to family members or close friends who trust you. Explain the benefits to both parties, and make sure they understand you don't need to actually use the card. It's just about getting their positive credit behavior to reflect on your report. Trick 3. Removing old late payments. This third trick is a little bit of a gamble, but I thought it was worth a try considering the potential benefits. I had heard from various sources that you could contact your creditors and ask them to remove old late payments from your credit report, a process known as a goodwill adjustment. So, I decided to give it a shot myself. I reached out to a handful of companies where I had missed payments in the past and explained my situation to them. I was honest about the financial difficulties I had experienced and politely asked if they would be willing to consider removing the late marks from my credit report. Unfortunately, most of the companies I contacted declined my request. They explained that their policies didn't allow for the removal of late payments, regardless of the circumstances. However, there was one company that agreed to remove the late payment, and this small one helped boost my score by an additional 15 points, which felt like a huge accomplishment. Here's my advice based on this experience. It's definitely worth trying if you have a positive relationship with your creditor, and if your past payment history is generally good. However, don't get your hopes up too high, because not all companies are open to making these adjustments, and some may be more rigid in their policies than others. But if you have a chance, it can make a significant difference in your score. Trick 4. Becoming an authorized user. The fourth trick is one that many people overlook, but it can be incredibly powerful in boosting your credit score. Becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card. I know it might sound simple, but it's a strategy that can make a big impact when used correctly. Here's how it works. If you're added as an authorized user to someone's credit card account, the payment history associated with that card will show up on your credit report. This means that if the person adding you has a strong credit history with timely payments and low credit utilization, all of that positive history gets transferred over to you. It's like borrowing their good credit habits without needing to apply for credit in your own name. I decided to ask a family member who had an excellent credit score if they would add me as an authorized user on one of their credit cards. Within just a few days of being added, I saw my score increase by 40 points, which was a huge jump for me. However, a quick word of caution. You want to make sure that the person adding you is financially responsible. If they happen to miss a payment or carry a high balance on their card, it could negatively impact your credit score rather than improve it. So, while this trick can work wonders, it's important to choose the right person to partner with for this strategy. Trick 5. Paying twice a month. And finally, the fifth trick I tried, which made the biggest difference in my credit score, was paying my credit card bill twice a month instead of just once. At first, this seemed like a small change, but the impact it had on my credit score was substantial. Let me explain why it works. Credit card companies report your balance to the credit bureaus at a specific time each month. If your balance is high when they report it, even if you plan to pay it off in full by the due date, it looks like you're using a large portion of your available credit. This can hurt your credit score because credit utilization is a key factor in determining your score. To counteract this, I began making a small payment halfway through the month, which helped lower my balance by the time the credit bureaus reported it. Then, I would make another payment at the end of the month, bringing my balance even lower. The result? My score increased by another 15 points. This trick is particularly helpful if you're planning to apply for a loan, mortgage, or any type of credit in the near future. Keeping your credit utilization low is a critical factor that lenders look at when assessing your creditworthiness. By paying your credit card bill twice a month, you can ensure that your reported balance is as low as possible, which can significantly improve the way lenders view you. Before I wrap up, let me share a bonus tip that really helped me stay on top of my credit score. We all get busy, and sometimes a payment slips through the cracks. But missing a payment can seriously hurt your credit score, and I learned that the hard way. So I decided to take control and set up automatic payments for all of my credit cards to make sure I never missed a due date again. With automatic payments in place, you don't have to worry about forgetting or stressing out over due dates. It's like setting it and forgetting it. Even better, you can avoid those annoying late fees and interest charges that can add up quickly and start affecting your financial goals. Even if you can't pay off the full balance, making at least the minimum payment on time will keep your score safe and help protect your credit health in the long run. After testing these 5 credit score tricks, I've come to realize that while some strategies can give you a quick boost, there's no magical one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to improving your credit score. What really makes a difference is consistency over time. The key to successfully improving your credit is to make sure you're paying your bills on time, keeping your credit utilization low, and staying organized with your accounts. These are the habits that truly make the biggest long-term impact on your financial health. That being said, if you're looking for a fast way to make an impact, I found that increasing your credit limit, paying your credit card bills twice a month, and becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card were the tricks that worked best for me. They helped boost my score and gave me that extra push I needed. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Also, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to your credit score? Whether it's building credit, improving a low score, or something else, feel free to share your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.